sucker. You got a big mouth. Bloop, boom.
Bro, you see, I was like, oh, I don't want to go, blah blah blah. Now I'm seeing it, and I'm like, damn, it does look like a good ass time.
It was that video of Weapon X that made me want to go so bad.
It looks crazy.
Okay, you ready to start this?
Mhm.
Okay.
For sure.
The first question. What's your favorite cereal?
Ooh, favorite cereal. I'm a big fan of Frosted Flakes. Big fan of Apple Jacks.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Fruit Loops too, but Apple Jacks are my number one. I'll say
Number
Apple
one,
Jacks.
Applejack. That's
Yeah.
based. That's a good answer, honestly.
Mhm. A little
Uh,
bit of a sleeper pick.
yeah. I don't know many people that say Applejack's like their favorite cereal or anything, but it's pretty based.
I definitely lean like a fruity cereal.
Yeah, I tend to like more
That's my
chocolate.
shit.
But
Word, okay.
yeah. What are some of your favorite albums or bands
Hardcore or just
in general?
general?
Just general.
General. Uh, Favorite band of all time. Most people know this about me. It's Oasis. I love Oasis.
Understandable.
That's just my shit. Uh,
Yeah.
Hardcore wise, favorite albums hardcore wise, Ill Blood by No Warning is just kind of my go-to. That was like when I heard that album when I was like 17, 18, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay. This is that shit for me."
Hell yeah.
Uh Paramount by Fury,
Hmm.
big goated record for me. Killing Time's Bright Side, goated.
Ooh.
Kind of stuff in that lane, I guess.
Yeah, that's. I mean, bass as fuck. Those are all great albums, honestly. Uh,
Yeah, just fastball pitch down the middle hardcore. You've
yeah.
got me sold.
Uh, so you are Edge, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are some bands or albums or people that made you want to claim Edge?
Ooh, awesome question. Uh, it's so funny because I actually just talked to some of the dudes in this band, but the about this record because like it was like a side project and didn't really get a lot of attention. But
Yeah.
this album, Eternal Emotion by Search for Purpose, was like my claim Edge album. It's a
It's.
bunch of dudes from like North Carolina band, shares with like members of like Magnitude and shit.
Ooh,
But it's
shit.
like kind of just like Turning Point worship. I think it
Mm.
came out in like 2017 or 18.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. That sounds sick as fuck.
Yeah, I think it's literally just like Magnitude rearranged
Oh,
member wise.
so it doesn't sound like Magnitude like at all.
You could like it if you like Magnitude, but it's nowhere near as like anthemic into
Yeah.
hold your guitar up chug breakdown. It's definitely more like melodic hardcore, but not in
Mm.
like the post 2000s melodic way.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty much Turning Point worship.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Um,
Yeah, it's sick. I
what
love
is,
that band.
what are your favorite things about modern hardcore?
Ooh, favorite things about modern hardcore. Uh, I think there's just a lot of enthusiasm for it.
Yeah.
Uh, and like people, excuse me, in hardcore, I've always obviously been passionate and excited about it. But
Yeah.
in my short time, I guess just like dividing it between pre-COVID and post-COVID, uh,
Oh.
these like post-COVID boom years, people have just been very excited about it. I think there was the big influx of just people coming to shows when
Hmm.
shows came back. And I think people were like, whoa, if we can kind of capture this and prolong it, it would be very cool. So I think people are just enthusiastic to get involved in any way. And I think that's sick.
Yeah, I feel like that big gap during COVID where there was like no community or anything. That's when people started like gravitating towards old hardcore movies and videos and stuff. So I feel like that
Oh, for sure.
definitely inspired like nowadays, especially in Cincinnati.
Definitely. I think
Uh,
it, yeah, especially, yeah, Cincinnati for sure.
mm.
Ohio wide, I
Oh,
would say. It's
Ohio,
just,
yeah.
I think once shit came back and there was the influx people coming to shows. I think people got really excited about it, and I think kind of the movers and shakers of hardcore, whether that be people in like bands or
Yeah.
promoters or whatnot, said, "Oh, we have something here. Like, let's. This doesn't have to be a flash in the pan." So it's been cool to kind of see this boom for what is it like 2.5 years now.
What are some of your favorite things about Cincinnati and the upcoming scene around it?
Oh, I think with Cincinnati, I think not to disparage anyone or anything, but I think Columbus and Cleveland, again, back to the kind of like COVID time period, once shows came back, they really pounced
Yeah.
on kind of creating a scene. And I think Cincinnati lagged just a hand. Uh, there were some sick ass shows right when like shows came back, but I think we didn't have like a Dirty D's moment.
Yeah.
We didn't have like a DGR shows kind of really cultivating something for people to identify with and kind of be like, oh, this is my community. And I think we're starting to really finally kind of get that. There are people starting new bands.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, hell, shout out Overflow.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
you
Shout out
guys
Overflow.
are kind of the torchbearers for the younger generation, which
Thank
I
you.
think is also kind of a really exciting thing for like me or like Joe and Sob Story is like being younger dudes. It's exciting now that we're no longer the youngest dudes in the room. It's cool to see that there's a new generation who are equally, if not more, excited than we were about it. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about Cincinnati is just seeing younger people finally kind of get hyped on it. Because like when I first started going to shows, like in the mid to late 2010s, like I was the youngest person.
I
Or
know. You're right.
Joe and I were like the youngest dudes. So it's cool seeing a slew of young people getting hyped on it.
Well, me and Adam can definitely accredit Waydown and Sob Story to being like the big influx of younger people coming to shows. Because they see you guys on Instagram. Every one of your friends posts about you guys, and they think you guys are sick as fuck. So they go see you guys, they fall in love, and they want to make bands. So
I appreciate that for sure.
I definitely gotta credit you guys, especially like you and Alex, not Alex, you and Joe. I just talked to Joe like 2 days ago. I got you guys mixed around.
No, you're all good. Yeah, I just think I think that's all I could ask for from being in a band. Like being, I guess, like popular or
Yeah.
touring or being massive. Like that's kind of irrelevant. Like, as if I can just be in a band that prolongs kind of the cyclical nature of people getting into hardcore, I think
Mhm.
that's really all I could ask for. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that. That's sick.
of course, dude. This was a controversial question when I asked Joe. Uh, what is your biggest pet peeve about hardcore?
Ooh, I probably have a few. I could be a hating ass motherfucker, to be fair. Shit. I think I just put young people on a pedestal, but I'm gonna kind of knock them down a bit here too.
Yeah.
I think realize that what you're stepping into, it's older than you, it's older than me, it's older than your favorite band, it's probably older than most of the people in the room the show
Yeah.
you're at. Like this is uh and when I say you, I'm not saying you literally. I'm just
Well,
saying like
yeah.
the proverbial you.
Yeah.
Uh message to the youth, general you. I guess just realize that I guess when I got into hardcore, like I just sat and observed for a while. Like yeah, like I moshed or I like tried to talk to people, meet people, but like grand scheme of things, like just sit and observe, kind of understand there's a lot of cultural nuances to hardcore that aren't gonna be told to you up front and aren't gonna be like explicitly visible when you start going to shows. And I think if you can kind of I guess I'm trying to think of like an easy like metaphorical way to put it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just I don't know, man.
'Cause I know.
Observe. Go ahead.
I was saying, Joe talked about it. He said a lot of younger people come in, and within the first 2 or 3 months, they try and claim the scene. They try and overrun it with either their friends or claim that they started a bunch of stuff and made a new movement.
Mm.
That's something.
Yeah, definitely, pretty much a very similar point is just, but even just like even on a more micro scale, like realize that the opinions or what uh what you hear is hardcore is probably hardcore, but also there's different flavors of it, and
Yeah.
just realize that I think Joe did put a good way. Like you can't really claim this. It is it's a long running kind of cultural system that you're more than welcome to play a part in, but I think just always realizing that you're a part of it and not it. I guess if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
I feel like I was definitely guilty of what Joe was talking about, especially when I first came in. I went to my first couple shows, and I tried to be the macho kid that was trying to be everywhere at once. But you gotta take a step back, accept other bands and other cultures and other types of hardcore, and then naturally become a part of the scene.
Yeah, and I also I don't think that should like dilute someone's enthusiasm
Yeah.
for it. Like come in and you can be excited about it. Like that's what this shit's all about. But I think I don't know. I guess I'm just someone who loves learning about shit. I love
Yeah.
just to nerd out and obsess over something. And I think there's a lot of people I see come into hardcore who whatever their first impression kind of face value read of hardcore is they're like, okay, that's what this is. I know about it. I can now comment and dictate on what
Yeah.
hardcore is. And it's like, no, like you kind of, it's probably like a silly way to put it, but I guess like if for young people getting into hardcore, like be a sponge, like try
Oh,
to
yeah.
just take in everything first and then go kind of do your shit, go be opinionated, start a band, talk your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against people being divisive characters, but be
Yeah.
a divisive character, an educated one, I guess.
Yeah. You were talking about people getting excited and wanting to learn about stuff, especially you liking to learn. And I think that's a big driving factor for younger people. They see like all of Waydown, all of Sob Story, and they see Bolster, and they see you guys playing with other Midwest or Ohio bands, and see that all of you guys, not just the vocalist or not just the guitarist, whatever, all of you guys are just invested and love hardcore as a culture and as the music. And I think it's a very big driving force for people to want to come a part of it.
Yeah, I also appreciate that. That means a lot. It's
Yeah.
just yeah. I think people in hardcore will realize you're about it if you are about it.
Yeah.
I think you kind of get that internal radar of when you meet someone, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like we get each other.
Yeah.
We're in this for the same reasons. And I think the more you learn, the easier it is, I guess, to kind of cultivate relationships that way.
Yeah. Next question. What is your first hardcore show?
Ooh, first hardcore show. I can remember the first hardcore band I ever saw.
Mm.
Was this band called Household. I want to say they're from Minneapolis. It wasn't a hardcore show, but they played there. There was this venue in fuck, where was it? It was like in northwestern Cincinnati. Might have been like Forest Hills area or something.
Oh.
But it was called the Underground, and it was like this church-ran venue. And me and some homies would just go there on the regular because there'd be like pop punk bands playing or whatever, or just like really bad Christian metalcore. But this band Household played, and I was like kind of figuring out what hardcore was at the time, so I was probably like 15, 16-ish, and they played, and I was like, yo, this sounds sick. Like it's a very specific type of hardcore. You don't really hear bands sound like this anymore. It was like a very time and place type band.
Yeah.
I've revisited it recently. It doesn't hit as hard as it did then.
Yeah.
But really dope band. I think members went on to actually be in Life's Question, funnily enough. But
Ooh.
yeah, it's I don't know. I guess the like sonically wise, it kind of sounds like I don't want to say Touche Amore. Was this? Oh, there's this band Worthwhile. It was like there was like this. I'm not gonna get too in the weeds of trying to describe what Household sounds like, but yeah, there was like a very specific type of melodic hardcore that was popular in like the mid 2010s,
Yeah.
and that was definitely an entry kind of subgenre for me to get into. So shout out the band Household. I think they went on to like do like title fight worship music later on, but the hardcore shit hit for me.
Title fight worship music's really good, honestly.
Oh, I agree with you there.
I love title fight. What was the most impactful show you've ever played or been to?
Ooh, I remember listening to Joe's. He mentioned Sound and Fury 2019. I would put that on mine too. The rock block of like No Warning into Basement into Fury into Have Heart was like probably the craziest like 2.5 hours of live music I've ever seen. That's probably a favorite show I've attended. I feel like I've also just attended so many sick shows that it all bleeds together. That kind of sucks about hardcore after a while. I don't want to say sucks, but there's so much memorable shit I've probably already forgotten. But played, the January 20th gig was definitely super sick. That was like a very
dream come true show for real.
100%. I would echo everything Joe said in his interview of just like we were worried about it. We knew it could be cool, but kind of the weather and just circumstances, we were definitely a little suspicious. But we knew it could be cool, and then the actual reality of it was like cooler than we could have imagined it ever being.
Yeah.
So that was sick. And anytime I play Cleveland, I love playing Cleveland. Like,
we can tell.
Yeah, playing Cleveland's my favorite. So I would tie between take your pick of a Cleveland show or January 20th, probably.
I remember Adam, after the show, Adam was like, I have no idea why the January 20th one was so popular. Like, not even just like people there, just the crowd was moving a lot more than we thought they would. Especially for Overflow, which was crazy. But
dude, the Overflow set was wild.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. But
that was a well-deserved.
It was a very lucky pull of the hat to get that show as our first, and then an upcoming show with Downset at Legends.
Oh hell yeah!
That's gonna be a heater, but
that'll be sick.
Yeah,
that's what sometime in May.
It's May 29th. It's the day after I graduate.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
dude, what a sick little graduation present.
It's gonna be. But our guitarist is graduating the day of the show at 7, which is when the doors open. So.
Oh shit!
We're getting a replacement for just one show, but they're doing that for April 6th with Salt because I can't play that.
Oh word.
But this is a wacky one. What animal are you most afraid of?
Yo, honestly, a lot of animals freak me out. Animals kind of scare me, no lie. I think like an alligator / crocodile. That shit low-key freaks me out.
Understandable. I know.
Or like anything water, like a shark, a jellyfish. I don't know. Big bodies of water freak me out. I don't think that's not a human being's domain. We shouldn't be fucking with that. The ocean's the ocean. Let the ocean do its own thing. So like sharks, scary as fuck.
I know Joe said he was afraid of bees, and that was like the big thing. Which is
I am allergic to bees.
Oh, you're allergic?
Freaky.
That's understandable, actually. I know a couple members of my family are allergic, so I have a really big fear of bees and wasps and all them. So
would you say that's your number one?
100%. I hate the springtime 'cause that's when mud daubers come around, and they get inside my little house. So I can't differentiate from like 20 feet away if it's a wasp or a mud dauber. So I freak out.
I also just don't fuck with bugs in general. Bugs also freak me out.
I'm the opposite. I love bugs. I'm going to college for
Really?
bugs.
No way.
Yeah.
What is what's the formal title of that major?
It's called entomology.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm getting a big degree in biology, then I'm gonna minor in entomology, so I was gonna try and set up a conservation, like that type of stuff up in Cincinnati, but
Damn, so you're out here doing like smart ass biology
yeah, I
shit.
had a whole fucking lineup set up. If
Damn, that's sick.
like, of course, I'm gonna do music on the side and try and grind that,
Oh, of
but
course.
I wanna have a steady job before I can fully delve myself into music.
Where are you going to school at?
Louisville. So I'm going to a totally different area. It'll be fun.
Okay, word. Hell yeah.
So I'm going to LDB next year, 100%. So I'm excited for that.
Bro, that'll be your local fest at that.
Hell yeah, dude! I might.
That's your scene.
I'm trying to get Overflow on that. Overflow on
That'd
LDB
be
would be
sick.
sick.
Hell yeah.
How did you get the name Waydown?
Yo. Funnily enough, I think the name. So we wrote "How You Feeling" before the band had a name,
Hmm.
and I think we are just like, yo, we have to have like a really wacky like call and response part here. Like, what would it be? I want to say our drummer Damon proposed like, oh, like way down, and I was like, yeah, we can rock with that, and it literally just became the name because of How You Feeling, which I think is fun for the song. Now we're
Yeah.
kind of just stuck with this band name based off of one song. So
I mean, it works. It's a sick name. It's recognizable instantly.
it is. I go back and forth with it.
Yeah. I remember when me and Adam were first writing for Overflow, and we were writing lyrics. We were talking about making like a dogpile song where everybody can just grab the mic and do whatever they want.
Oh, for sure.
We took big inspiration from How You Feeling.
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah.
we should do a call and response like that, where we just scream Overflow, but it fell through 'cause it's hard.
I think you nailed the kind of anthemic mic grab part with the fake straight edge song though.
Oh, dude,
I think you kind of
that's the song I worked the hardest to write. I wrote all the
yeah,
lyrics.
you got a big hook there.
I wrote all the lyrics for like all of Overflow, and I still do that right now. So
Oh, hell yeah.
to hear people like who can talk about that means a lot, honestly. The original story behind Till You Die is a little crazy, but that's
Oh, hit me with it.
so. I claimed Edge technically 7 months ago, but I never like came out with it. So we started Overflow in October. And I was like, let me just write lyrics about a straight edge guy that lies about being straight edge, but is a drug addict, and then overdoses, but still claims edge while he's like overdosing. So it was yeah.
That's honestly kind of a badass little
It was like a 6-minute song.
story arc.
It was a
Holy
6-minute
shit.
song about like a triple X poser. I don't know. It was fun. I like writing lyrics like that.
Yeah, that's sick.
Speaking of Waydown, like what was the history of it? Like who started it?
It's definitely rooted with the drummer Damon,
Mhm.
guitarist Carter, and then me. Damon and I have been in bands for like, gosh, so if I'm 24, probably been in bands damn near like 10 years together at this
Wow.
point. And I think when COVID hit, the band that we were in previously, coincidentally with Joe, kind of just fizzled out, and I was like, dang, just kind of want to write some shit. So like me and Damon started kind of toying around with ideas. I want to say Troubles of Brew was the first song we wrote together, and then got Carter in, and then it just kind of became a band from there.
Didn't Joe join on bass like way after the band had actually started, or was he original member?
No, yeah, he joined October, November of last year.
Yeah, I think that's a great addition. Not just 'cause you guys are like close friends, but because he has so much energy on stage, and it definitely
dude.
adds a lot.
We've had a lot of the bass in this band has been like just a revolving door of like homies.
Yeah.
Everyone who's played bass in this band, like I'm very grateful for, and it's always been like someone sick to have on
Yeah.
stage with us. But Joe hits different for me, bro. Joe looks sick playing bass.
Plus, when he dropped it at that head collector reunion show, he dropped it and started hard moshing and hit some kids. And
See, he
That's-
told me he was gonna do that, and
He-
like I get really bad like blackout tunnel vision on stage.
Yeah.
Like I don't notice things going on.
he
And he told me he was gonna do that, and then everyone after the show was like, "Yo, Joe was beating ass during the Bad Seed cover."
I think
And
he
was like,
broke some kid's
I believe
nose.
it. What a legend,
I,
bro.
I do think he broke some kid's nose during the last song.
I'm like kind of salty nobody got it on video, but I also think it's like really badass. There's just this mythical moment
Yeah,
of Joe just dropping the bass and
I know.
sleeping kids.
There's the one guy who did record the set, but he only recorded Your Disease and Head Collector, or The Strut and Head Collector.
Yeah. Shoot.
Mongo Media.
What's that? Mongo Media. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a very sick angle of you guys during the January 20th show. Very, very sick
Yes.
VHS.
Yeah.
Same with B from Total Loss. They got a great angle of you guys.
I love that video B took. That's like that's an all-time favorite video of us.
They're gonna get
'Cause I'm
one.
definitely guilty.
They're gonna get one soon of Overflow. So look out
Oh,
for that.
fuck yeah. Probably get one at the show with Total Loss. That'd probably be sick.
Well,
That would be a
yeah.
good-ass show.
I won't be in it, but it'd be sick to have like
True.
the entire
Didn't
band
mention that,
playing.
my bad.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. Yeah. I love the idea of having performances on physical releases. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who it was. It might have been Instead. They had their final show, and it was on a VHS. I think it was.
I love like a physical release. I
Yeah.
don't have the DVD, but the like last show Have Heart DVD was like
Oh,
formative for me
it's all on
getting into
YouTube
hardcore.
too. I've watched that video so many
Yeah.
times.
That was like a big thing for me getting into shit. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this video.
It's the it's when they play Boston's. It's the last like minute and a half that really get me going, make me love hardcore once again.
Definitely. If I
That's-
could find it, there's probably a DVD of it somewhere for
Oh.
sale online. I should buy that.
There's probably people that would bootleg it for you for like
True.
$15.
Mhm.
What made you want to do vocals in a band?
Good question. Little known fact about me, I was like a high school theater kid, so like I enjoy performing,
Me too.
and oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
that shows. That makes sense. That checks out. I could see that. But yeah, I think in all my bands prior to this, I've like done vocals, but I was always playing an instrument, and I
Yeah.
was like, I just want to like front a band, like that just seems fun as fuck, and it is. I love doing it. It's
I mean,
I don't know.
that's
I
the
think
exact
just kind of
mentality.
yeah, I think performing is just a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I have that same mentality. Every single band I've been in, I've always done vocals and drums or vocals and bass, and
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do just vocals, 'cause it's.
Oh, that's gotta happen.
I mean, I did it with Waydown for one song, and that was like the best moment. It's fucking sick. I know me and Adam are trying to start up a youth crew band called No Divide soon.
Yo, that'd be badass.
So the gimmick is that half of us are straight edge, half of us aren't. So we're gonna call.
That's kind of like Full Stride.
Yeah, it's like. I would say soft story, but they're not straight edge. I don't think Ben's edge, is he?
No, I don't believe so.
Ben's helped a lot with hardcore, honestly. Ben's put me onto so many bands.
Ben is a well of just knowledge and lore. That is a good person just to pick their brain, and
Yeah.
they'll give you some history.
He's also scary. Like, he was hard watching at the Snuff show. and you wouldn't.
When Ben moshes, it's rare.
It's
I wouldn't want to
scary.
say rare. When Ben moshes, you know.
Like Snuffed was great, and to see Ben, someone I've like talked to about moshing, and he's like, back in the '80s, I was the hardest mosher in Cincinnati, and just to see him like go out there and actually prove it was insane. But next question: what is Waydown's lyrical content like?
Ooh, for better or worse, I think I've always tried to write lyrics that I guess mean something,
Hmm.
and I think that's been cool. I would like to front a band at some point that I can just write shit that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And we've been Carter and I have been working on something new that might happen. But I
Hell
guess with
yeah.
Waydown, like I've always tried to, write something that they are kind of like introspective. I don't know, just songs about myself or just kind of
Yeah.
things in life. And I think some of them are good, some of them are corny, but I think they've always had some shroud of legitimate meaning. So
Mm.
I guess that's been the main lyrical inspiration.
I think the big turn on for a lot of my friends, at least, looking at lyrics for Way Down, are the very complex words you choose for some of your lyrics. I've had to Google some of the words to figure out what they mean, because like they're not very commonly used in language.
I fuck with vocab. What can I say? I'm not a big math guy, but like you bring up words or you bring up like the English language, oh, I'm so down. So
'Cause
that's cool that comes through.
it's the gotta hide my trepidation, like the validity of your ways. It's very not very common words, especially nowadays in conversation. So I think it's very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
That is not a one of the questions I wrote down is your band from the Minor Threat song, 'cause that was for Joe, and I almost read that out loud. What's the process like for writing for Way Down? Is it like you write lyrics, or you have a guitar riff or a bass lick or whatever?
Up to this point, excuse me. Guitar riffs. The
Hmm.
demo I think was kind of split 50-50 between Carter and I.
Hmm.
Carter wrote Use Your Tongue. I wrote Troubles a Brew, and I think we kind of collabed on How You Feeling. All the Something to Move To songs were a bit more in the room kind of songs.
Yeah. I feel
But
like you could tell, kind of.
go ahead.
I feel like you can tell, kind of, 'cause with How You Feeling, it was a lot more, I felt like more energetic and not just ideas that came together sporadically. It was more of like a sit down and discuss how my workout feeling. And yeah.
Which I think I guess my only like gripe with How You Feeling is you can kind of tell that different songs came from different brains. I
Yeah.
think like Use Your Tongue doesn't necessarily sound like How You Feeling, but hey, sometimes you gotta be a little bit of a misguided hardcore band sometimes. That's okay.
I mean, a little snippet, a fun fact. The original demo cover for Overflow was a 1-to-1 ripoff of the Way Down demo cover.
Really?
We grabbed, we took a screenshot of your album cover, and we copied the layout, but we changed it to pink, and we added a different drawing on the front of it. That's how we got.
Hell,
That's
you
how we
should
got the
just ran
name.
it.
We got the name. I could have done the same, 'cause the artwork we chose has I could have done the same written at the bottom of it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
So
have to send me that. That
I
sounds sick.
will. I will. It's honestly pretty sick. Me and Adam made it together. We worked pretty hard on it. Oh, but this is the last question I got.
Alrighty.
What is your favorite movie genre?
Ooh. I'm like I love a mob movie. Or I love
Ooh.
just like I love a mob movie. I love a drama. If you give me like an hour and a half, 2 hours of people just like talking, I'm down. Like
Yeah.
I love a character-driven movie. I know Joe said horror movies. I
Yeah.
straight up can't watch horror
You
movies.
can't?
That
Wow.
is, nah. I think I'm too anxious of a person that
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna watch something that's gonna make me anxious. Like I can just I can achieve that on my own, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Joe's profile picture on Discord, and I instantly thought it would be that he loved mob movies and loved like Casino and a bunch of
Fire.
Godfather movies. Casino is my fire movie. It's a great movie. But yeah, surprising to hear that you like drama. I thought you would be like a low-key a rom-com, like a horror type of guy.
I think I don't know. Like something about just I like a very character-driven story.
Yeah.
Like I think movies about I'm trying to think of like just like some of my favorite movies. Like mob movies obviously. Like I love Goodfellas. I
Mm.
love Casino. I love Heat.
Heat's
Love
great.
Heat.
Heat's great.
But like non mob movies, trying to think of like good dramas. It's definitely like a super fucked up movie, but I think Kids rocks.
Ooh. I think I've seen that movie. I'm not too certain.
It's pretty bleak. Uh it's kind of just a story about characters of all of which are just like morally reprehensible individuals.
Yeah.
But I think shit like that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love character movies, but it's hard to find movies that keep me grasped for it. Like, there's a handful of them that I could watch over and over again because the character's really interesting, but there's some where I can only get like 10 minutes in, then I have to stop because it's just not very,
Sure.
attention grabbing.
What would
for
you
me.
say your favorite genre is?
Oh, 100% horror. I mean,
Respect.
I hate the movies
You
sometimes.
you and Joe are stronger people than I. I can't do it.
I mean, I love me some psychological slasher movies. Like, my favorite movie of all time is Silence of the Lambs. And I have a tattoo of the moth from the movie just 'cause I love it so
no
much.
way.
Yeah, I mean,
I can get down with like a psychological kind of
Yeah.
like thriller thing.
I feel like you
like
might
a,
enjoy Silence of the Lambs. It's a very character-driven, like, not very scary, just a very ominous, like, series.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
do that. I love like a Clockwork Orange or something.
Ooh,
Like
that's a
I can
great
do
movie.
shit like that. I think once it gets like jump scare horror, just like kind
That's
of like exploitation gore horror, I'm just kind of like I'm cool. I'm
yeah.
good.
That's why. I mean, I love movies that use gore because it's just something. I love the idea of things that like shouldn't be normal. Like
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, one of my favorite movies of all time is Killer Clowns in Outer Space, just 'cause it's so goofy and out there, and it uses gore in a very limited but funny and useful way. That's what I love about horror.
I've never seen it, but anytime I hear someone talk about that movie, they have like nothing but great things to say
Oh,
about
it's
it.
like
They're like, yeah, that's my shit.
it's a
I'm like, "Word."
cheesy 80s slasher where just clowns come from outer space and start kidnapping people in cotton candy cocoons, and like it's really good. You should definitely watch it. It's very bizarre, but I love it.
I might have to venture into the horror genre a little
Hun-
bit.
Just watch like 80s low budget slasher movies. Not scary. Very
I
easy
think
to
I've seen a
grasp.
couple like the classics. Like
Yeah.
I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street and like Halloween and shit.
Yeah.
But haven't gotten into the shit for the real horror heads. Haven't
Yeah.
delved that deep.
Well, I used to not be a horror head. I used to be like exactly like you. I was always too anxious to watch stuff. But then
Mm.
I found Dead Meat on YouTube, and he would go through movies, so I knew if they were scary or not, and then I would watch them and enjoy them.
Oh, word.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah, if you're looking for some weird stuff, definitely go there. He has some very low budget, very bad, but also really good movies out there.
I
Okay.
enjoy watching like a low budget thing just to
Mm.
kind of, even though it's like objectively worse than high budget, I think kind of being able to see like there's kind of a tangible feeling to it of being like, oh wow, like I see how they did that.
Yeah.
They had these restrictions and these are kind of the ingenious solutions they
Yeah.
kind of came up with to navigate them.
Yeah. I mean, I made that connection with Joe, I think, where horror movies and movies in general remind me of hardcore and like DIY kind of scene stuff. Because if they have low budget, there's so much love put into the movies, and you could tell
for sure.
that they don't care what the outcome is, they don't care what it is, they just love it. And it's the same thing with hardcore, man. Like, a lot of bands don't care what they sound like, they just have fun with it and they love it.
It's probably why there's such a big overlap of people enjoying both.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you can't go to a hardcore show without someone in like a horror movie bootleg shirt.
Or a tattoo sleeve of horror movie characters.
Straight up.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I got for you. Do you have any questions for me or shout-outs you'd like to say?
I just think that you doing this is sick. Like,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Any way for like young people to get stoked on hardcore and just kind of express that is always something that I back hard.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Getting asked to do this, I was like, oh yeah, no brainer. Like, that's sick.
I was surprised
I'd
you
love
said
to.
yes so quick, because I know Joe took
Oh, no.
took a little bit to want to do it.
I'm a big hardcore podcast enjoyer.
Oh,
I love just listening to hyper fixated obsessive nerds just talk about shit.
like the
for
Hard Lore
hours, so.
podcast.
Hard Lore's awesome. Big Axe to Grind guy.
Yeah. Scoped Exposure.
The From Within Records podcast.
Yeah.
Goated shit. So
Well,
not that this is necessarily like a quote unquote podcast.
It's not really,
anytime,
but
like anytime someone just like wants to talk about hardcore
Yeah.
in like a recorded media format, I back it heavily.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I have plans for the future to interview, like, I wanted to interview the guys from Hard Lore just to talk about the way they do stuff and stuff they're into.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And then I got like death metal and doom metal and like I wanted to try and get Billy Joel on the podcast or talk to him because I love Billy Joel, but might not
That'd
happen.
be crazy.
But thank you for the kind words. Really, it means a lot.
Yeah, no, this is sick. I love that you're doing this. I love that you and Adam are just finding like cool ass ways to
That's funny. Adam's the next person
to get involved.
Adam's the next person I'm gonna interview because he's been begging me to do it.
That'll probably be funny.
It'll just be homies talking, honestly, for like an hour.
Yeah,
but
that'll just be the dudes.
yeah. But thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me about hardcore and movies and whatnot.
Yo, for sure. It's what I live for. Always down.
I'm hyped for the next Waydown show. I'm hyped for the next Waydown release. Me and Adam had the idea of getting both you and Joe on a Overflow song.
Yo, that'd be that could be sick.
It would be a lot of people, but it would be like a what are they called? Like a crowd chant callback with 3 Cincinnati bands. That'd be sick.
Yeah, it'll be kind of Path of Resistance esque.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people on the mic going crazy.
I feel like that'd be really fun.
Yeah,
But,
dude. I'd be down. That'd
hell
be
yeah.
sick.
Well, thank you, of course. Shout out
Of
Way
course.
Down. I didn't ask anything about Rust Belt Ruckus, but best of luck to Rust Belt Ruckus. Best of luck to
Yeah.
everything you're a part of.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of Cincinnati. Thank you for helping hardcore. Really, it means a lot. But
Oh, for sure. I do my little part. There's a lot of people that put in the work, so I'm happy to lend a hand when it's needed.
Okay, well that's all I got for you.
Awesome. I appreciate this. This was sick.
Of course, thank you for doing it.